Go. Happy Fun Friday. This is 2020 Vision. We're creating dreams and breakthroughs and crushing fear and distortion. I am here with the one and only Rob Gill.
What's up, Sean?
brother?
How you doing, brother?
Awesome. So, on this Fun Friday, I want to talk about a couple things real quick. First of all, Rob Gill.
Yep.
We do a lot of fun and goof around a lot, and sometimes that could be in service of showing the more playful side and the fun side of my unique identity, but it might not be in full service of Rob's. Rob didn't even bring this up, but I was thinking about it. Rob is utterly amazing. He's been such a ridiculous friend, and he's a subject matter master in the space of financial insurance in that world. So when this guy starts dropping information, and I work with Rob, he's done some incredible things for my world, and when I often present Rob as the waffle eater and funny and goofy, and we have a great like dialogue. I don't think it's fully in service of you all the time. And so Rob from Bayonne and What's Up and all that stuff we have a really good time with isn't exactly who you are fully. So like your knowledge base in that space, brother, like own yourself for a minute.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. For what we do at Epic Wealth, right, and the kind of planning we do is really a one-stop shop financial planning, wellness, individual and business center. I've had the good fortune of having great teachers in my life over the last 20 years within that space, a lot of good allies, a lot of alliance partners that really landed me perfectly as I began to develop a relationship with Sean. I still love being Rob from Bayonne because that's really who I am. But at the end of the day, when it comes to being brought up in a blue-collar environment and understanding the lack of education when it comes to money and how money works, my team and my office and all the people that we work with, our number one goal is to really create high-level education in the space of personal finance as well as business finance.
And you do amazingly. You said just like strategic alliance, co-creation relationship.
Yep.
I had the honor and blessing of going this morning through another one of Jay Abraham's incredible programs. And Mr. Jay Abraham has become somebody that I was blessed and privileged that he spoke on our stage at Legendary Mastermind. And he has given me an incredible amount of wisdom. And I jokingly have said, it's like Yoda, and I feel like Luke Skywalker when I'm talking to him, like, making these breakthroughs in the platforms we're creating. And as we were doing it, I realized three things he taught me this morning that jumped and exploded out to me. When you're creating co-creation relationships and strategic partnerships, these are the three things that you have to be concerned about. It's not about benefit first. The other person is afraid that something is going to go wrong. Three fears. The first is that the other person is a criminal or a fraud, that is afraid that you are, right? And I've had that experience where, by the way, I may not agree with it fully, that I've put somebody on my stage and people have said, oh, but this person, blah, blah, blah. So the first thing anybody is uncomfortable and worried about is, hey, I have this great thing you can't lose. Well, they're afraid you're going to be a criminal. Like, that's a problem. You're going to be like, oh, I saved the world, and you didn't. So problem number one, fraud, criminal. Second challenge is they're going to say, hey, this thing is going to be for free. People could see it at first. Bring people, talk to people. They're afraid that the two fears, fear of rejection and failure. So the second challenge is they think that people are going to get angry because it's going to stink. And they're going to be like, Rob, why'd you bring me this thing, dude? Like, it's awful. Like, what's going on? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, your credibility drops.
Yes.
So that's the second thing that people are concerned about when you want to do a co-creation relationship, where it's like you have nothing to lose. You think you have everything to lose. First, you could be a criminal. Second, the thing you're going to do could stink.
Yep.
The third challenge is, okay, if the free thing that you're doing, right, doesn't stink, what if the paid thing is a ripoff? Yep. And it's horrible. And they feel like you stole and robbed their people.
Yep.
So the one is your identity could be not what you say it is. The second challenge can be that the thing you're doing initially is not going to be any quality. And the third thing is going to be when you take people's money, you're a thief and you rob them. So those three things, challenges I learned from the one and only Jay Abraham this morning, going through these amazing programs, to think about the mindset of the person you're creating a co-creation relationship with. They're not just like, oh, cool, I can refer people and make money. That's not what they're thinking. They're thinking those three challenges. Yes, brother?
I agree 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just did a video the other day about, and it was about you, and it was in service of you, but for really the message of what the institution of Sean Callagy and how to really, in my mind, create a world-class relationship, and it starts with love, straight up. But it's not just Sean Callagy, it's Callagy Law, and it's the team that's around him, or anybody you want to create a relationship with. If you genuinely want to add value and help out, you can't just run to the front of the line and just, hey, can I talk to Sean? And I knew in my heart that there was something special about this place. I wanted to be a part of it in any way I can or could. And I began to just do the very best I can just to add as much value to everybody that was part of the team and genuinely do it with no expectation. I've always felt that in this space he was source in what I'm trying to accomplish. And by the way, in a lot of things when I talk to Sean, his knowledge is incredible. This isn't a promotion of it, but my point is hearing him talk about these three things right now, this is the first time I've ever heard him mention that. And he's just constantly just raising the bar, constantly raising the bar, constantly raising the bar. And for me, I made a decision 3 years ago that I wanted to be around people that were smarter, more mature, and better versed in things that I just wasn't versed in. And I've been dealing in the realm of uncertainty. And there's so much growth in that space, including the other night when, I had to wait 12 hours to get my 5 minutes in.
I'm not kidding.
And that was phenomenal.
For real, we did a video on it.
Yeah.
Rob, we had Chris Crone and Promise Phelan, love them, building amazing things with them. And Rob was there for seriously 5 hours waiting to talk to Chris and I about one thing that, related to us. And it was an amazing, and a couple times Sean, I'm like, dude, it's right, just perspective on what's happening. And he was amazing at it. But so the point there is that there's got to be an understanding. When I've gone and had the blessing and privilege of going to Tony Robbins and Sage's house, I wasn't like, hey, Tony, let me ask you something, right? And there was 40 people. I pay a lot of money to be part of the Lions. Yep. But that guy has everybody coming at him from every perspective, everywhere with everything. And in my heart, I remember a couple of moments there feeling bad for him. I'm like, this poor guy is such a poor guy. This beautiful soul, this incredibly powerful man. Yep. I felt challenged because I know he loves everybody. Yep. And he'd love to give everybody 5 hours of his time and attention. Every person who comes to every seminar he does, yep. He's a remarkable human being, straight up. Yep. And the challenge is, how do you do it? And I feel it in a little way. Yep. I know you're beginning to feel it in a little way.
Yes. Yep.
Because and then people are upset, and and the phone's ringing, and I know Chris Promise and I were chatting about that. I know JC and the HV, as you start to have things happen, yep. That people are like, well, who do you think you are? What's going on? What, you too good for me? Dude, I'm not, Tony Robbins is too good for me. Yep. He's got millions of people that want to talk to him. Yep. He's right, that's the deal. Yep. And if at that house, there's 40 people that want to talk to him. It was a remarkable experience. Couldn't more highly recommend. Yep. If someone could be privileged not to be in the Lions, being in it. But it's the perspective on the person you're approaching. Think of their seat.
Yes.
I do that.
That's what he does. You know what? You do. That's what he does. Sean does that on such a high level all the time. Quick point, I was at UPW with Sean and Mike Miello, his name. And I was like, Sean, let me go get him for you. Right? Yeah. And I really wanted just to introduce him. And even in that space, about an hour before that, we were talking to one of the volunteers within the Tony Robbins structure who rode a bike all across America. It was the most incredible story I've heard. And Sean had an impact on both guys in his conversation in about 10 or 15 minutes because he thought of them first. So many things I learned through...
Mike, I apologize.
No.
Mike that day, there was there was
a very long line.
A lion.
Yep.
And there's a long line.
Yep.
I got in the back of the line.
You did.
Right? And I waited.
And I tried to get him in the front.
I waited for an hour.
Yeah.
That's straight up.
I know.
I waited for an hour out of respect to the people who are on the line. Now, maybe you could argue and quibble, should I have, and, I'm paying other, but you know what? I didn't want to be disrespectful to anybody. I don't know Mike at that point. I didn't want to jump the line.
And to my point, though, Sean, that was a lesson I learned in my friendship with Sean in getting to know him over the last 18 months. I saw it live. It was real. It was genuine. It wasn't something that was made up. So there's so many lessons that I learned
about co-creation relationships.
Yes,
that's what we're speaking about. And so again, we had this. Rob and I, we're trying to tighten up. I haven't given solid content in a while. Being real, we've had a lot of fun lately. Yeah. Show what's going on lately. This is supposed to be solid content every day. My apologies. I'm getting back for you to solid content every day. So there's gonna be solid content pieces. Then we'll do the fun extra stuff, right? And we're gonna label them clearly. So this is real content. The point of today is when you're approaching an ecosystem merger, a co-creation relationship, what would also be called a strategic partnership or strategic alliance. I like the words co-creation relationship because I think words resonate energy for me, and it just feels like ecosystem merger, co-creation relationship feels a little bit more transcendent, a little more deep, a little deeper, more soulful, more heartfelt, right?
Yes.
So that's what we're in service of today, and we're in service of. We're saying think of the other person's perspective
first.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, I got this thing for I'm making some money. People don't want money is like 7th most important thing or 6th most important.
And unfortunately, that might be what you're thinking if you say that to them, not what they're thinking.
Absolutely.
So now you're projecting. I mean, like,
think of their fears. Think that they want to be with people that
kids.
they see their future and their unique identity, and they're going to fear crime, fraud. They're going to fear that what you're delivering, even if it's for free initially, is going to embarrass them. They're going to have flack. And third, they think that it's not going to be worth the money. And in service of this, think of this. I had somebody that I put on my stage that there was some beef about, right, recently. I had to deal with people's opinions for 10 hours. Well, that's strong language, inappropriate language. Not deal in service of like communicating, hearing people out, right? I had to spend 10 hours doing it. 10 hours. So if you or co-creation relationships, that's what the other person's concerned about. That they got to spend 10 hours dealing with complaints from other people if something is not what people want.
Yeah.
So you have to walk them through overcoming those objections, make sure they're clear that you're not a criminal or fraud, that you're going to do something free that's going to be not just a pitch, right? It's going to be an educational platform to give massive value. And third, that if people do buy what you're selling, it's going to be hugely in service of. We're going to talk on our next video about how to deliver that. Because I just created a model off of those concepts of precisely how to overcome each of those 3 things.
Wow, awesome.
Rob, brother,
yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
And we made it the entire video. It's no joking.
No.
I didn't have a joke to say. I was like, let's do a video where like we show a little bit more of who you are and what's really going on. We're building incredible things. You out there, think of it. Like this is just examples of what we're up to, the ecosystem merger potential that you have that everyone has. And I'm learning it every day. I'm listening to Jay Abraham, I'm watching Tony Robbins stuff. I'm asking questions, Jonathan, Chris, Promise, Rob's teaching me. We're all learning from each other. Stay here with us. Share, comment. Like, let's keep expanding our ecosystems, merging. Have an incredible day. Happy Fun Friday.